So we have a new update on The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time Remake. Well, apparently, if you look up the game and you do not click into the actual Nintendo website, you can read the description through Google's kind of search page without even clicking in. So you can't click in because it's not actually in the website. You gotta look at it from outside on Google. But it has a new description for the game. Now, I believe this has already been taken down from Nintendo, but everyone's been talking about it because it states the Nintendo 64 Classic Reborn as a full remake for Nintendo Switch 2. Experience Ocarina of Time with stunning visuals, updated designs, and timeless gameplay. Now, this simple description has the internet in a panic. Everybody's saying that they're starting to get worried. A lot of people are reading the words timeless gameplay and assuming it's alluding that this game is going to be a one-to-one remake with the original. Now, it doesn't help that Nintendo really didn't give us anything to go off of besides Link sleeping in his room, which seems to be a completely redone scene with a completely different bedroom, bed, and setting, everything. So personally, I've been under the impression that this is going to be a completely different experience, but still the same Ocarina of Time that we know and love. Just tons of asset changes, maybe some voice acting, maybe adding some things here and there, but still the dungeons, the story is going to stay pretty much the same. But the problem with Nintendo barely showing anything is it leaves so much up for interpretation as to what we are all thinking this game's going to be, and this brand new description does not help because there's so many ways that you can look at this. For one, the first sentence says the Nintendo 64 Classic Reborn. The word reborn was already used in the General Direct.
The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time will be reborn on Nintendo Switch 2.
That word reborn is very interesting, and it's making me wonder if there's another subtitle to this game that we just don't know about yet, called like The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time Reborn, and we just have to wait for that to be officially revealed or something. I mean, they didn't even give us a release date and it comes out this year. So I'm not doubting the possibility of this game having a different name, they just haven't shown us yet. But what does reborn actually mean? That sounds like it's more than just a remaster or a remake in this situation. It seems like it could be a little bit more. Well, let's read a little bit further here. But it says the Nintendo 64 Classic Reborn as a full remake for Nintendo Switch 2. This is another thing that people are putting emphasis on. What is the definition of a full remake? If this was just a simple asset flip where they just made the game look really, really nice but kept the game a one-to-one exact replica, would that be necessarily considered something as a full remake? I feel like if this was just a remake, they would have just said it's a remake, but a full remake does sound like they're trying to be a little descriptive here. Like I said, we were pulling at strings, Nintendo really didn't give us anything, but using the phrase full remake does make it feel like it's going to be a lot bigger and more ambitious than a normal remake would, at least for Nintendo. They've never really done something like this, something more along the lines of a reimagining of the game. Now that's all fine and dandy, but this is the part that's getting people held up. Experience Ocarina of Time with stunning visuals, updated designs, and timeless gameplay. Now we know the visuals are going to be stunning. Look at your boy Link in the bed. I mean, he looks absolutely awesome. This is the one part I think we can check off. I've seen a lot of people say that the game doesn't look that good or something. Like, I don't know what people are talking about. This game looks awesome. I'm actually very glad that they chose this art style instead of something like Breath of the Wild or Tears of the Kingdom, going for more of that realistic look, which looks absolutely awesome. It kind of reminds me of those Unreal Engine remakes that fans be making online. I get that's not everybody's cup of tea, but I think this is the best way and the best direction that they could have gone with this game. I absolutely love it. I have no complaints here. So they've already kind of gave us that bone. Now, what do they mean by updated designs? Well, this one specifically, I think they might mean just character models, because some of the character models are pretty outdated. I do wonder if this means they're going to change up certain character designs or like the races of certain characters. Like for instance, the Zoras, maybe they're actually going to look more like the Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom variants. I actually hope not. I like their distinct look in Ocarina of Time. I don't think that's what that means. I think they're simply just going to upgrade their look. They will look the same, but with new added features. Like, let's take the Gorons, for example. They all look ideally the same. Every single last one of them, and they don't have features to make them stand out like we've seen from some of Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. So perhaps some of them could have clothes, headbands, different hairstyles to make them stand out, which I would absolutely love, because that was one problem I think could have been fixed in a 3DS version, but they didn't go that far at all. I mean, look at Link so far. They gave him an original new Kokiri outfit. It's not just a small green tunic for young Link. He's got like this new blue vest, and you can even get a peek of his hat that has beads around the brim. This seems to be a completely new outfit for where he grew up in this Kokiri village. So I think that part will be fine as well. It's the last point that has people freaking out. The part that says timeless gameplay. That kind of makes it seem like this gameplay is going to be exactly the way it used to be because it's timeless and it's going to mimic the way it used to play, pretty much keeping the game a 1-to-1 ratio with how it used to play, but just looking a lot different. Now this is one that I feel like can be broken down into its own separate video because I feel like there's a fan base out there that would absolutely love that. Keep the game exactly the same, but just make the graphics look a lot better and add some design changes. And there's another part of the fan base out there that would probably want more than just a 1-to-1 remake. They want stuff added to this game to expand on what this game already was. Still keeping this game Ocarina of Time, but making it more than just base Ocarina of Time. Adding a bunch of new features and stuff that the game never had originally. I think I fall in the second category because I don't need anything super crazy. I'm not asking for this game to have a new open world like Breath of the Wild or something, but I'm asking for them to maybe add some things that makes a lot of sense. Like I said, this could be a whole separate video, but just to give you a couple of examples of what I'm talking about, Hyrule Field is extremely open and barren, and something like that in this day and age will not sit well because it just happened and it didn't sit well. I feel like there's such an opportunity to add a lot more to Hyrule Field, including maybe a town or two, and just some other locations to visit, just making the field feel more interesting this time around. Also, something like completely redesigning the boss battles, or at least most of them, because some of them are just so weak, man. I mean, literally, beating the first boss in the game in 25 seconds is insane. And a good chunk of the bosses in the game are like this, so a 1-to-1 exact copy of these bosses again would feel very weird. And there was also some cut content from the original game, like there was going to be a light temple and even an ice temple. The ice cavern ended up just being a small little portion before you got to the water dungeon, but I would really love to at least see the light temple make an actual debut here, because it makes sense. Why in the world do we just get to the light medallion without having to do anything for it? So it'd be really cool to see that. But if this game does end up being a 1-to-1 copy, that is more than likely going to mean we're not going to get really any of that stuff. Just upgraded visuals and some slight enhancements. But let me calm you down, because no, I don't think this description means anything. I don't think hearing the words timeless gameplay means it's going to be a 1-to-1 exact copy. No, I don't think that means anything. It's timeless gameplay because it's going to keep the same dungeons, we know this. It's going to keep the same story. It's going to be timeless because it's revisiting a game. If you're expecting a completely different game, I don't think most of us, if any of us, really want that. This is supposed to be Ocarina of Time. It needs to be Ocarina of Time, but with some changes to add some content, make some quality of life changes, and just up the graphics. That's really what everybody wants. So everybody needs to calm down, relax. It's too early to make assessments right now. Nintendo barely showed us anything, and what they showed us already is already a good sign. We could have seen a simple HD image of Link getting out of bed, which looked the exact same as the original, and that would have already told us that we're getting just a 1-to-1 recreation. We haven't seen that. They could have showed us the intro of the game with absolutely no voice acting. That didn't happen. We have full voice acting, which sounds like it's coming from the Great Deku Tree. The Great Deku Tree himself looks extremely different from his past versions. Not to mention, there's things that are a little bit different. Link's hands already glowing with the Triforce of Courage. That hasn't happened in the original game yet. The Triforce isn't even split until Link grabs the Master Sword and opens the Sacred Realm for Ganondorf. We don't even see Link's hand glow until he enters Ganondorf's chamber to fight him at the end of the game. So there's so much that's going on in just this little snippet that we've gotten already that completely convinces me that this is going to be more than your traditional remake. But time will tell. I'm sure we'll get some information soon. But let me know in the comments down below. What side are you on? Side 1, where this game is a 1-to-1 remake but just looks way better, or side 2, where this game is more than a remake and almost a reimagining, adding a bunch of new things and changing some things around? Let me know down below. Make sure you guys leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. See you guys.